Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Enter the Abyss.
Yeah, welcome to the Abyss.
As is typical, my beer starts to overflow.
Yeah, what beer are you drinking tonight?
It's so from Uinta Brewing Co. It's Test Phase. It's a New England style IPA.
Yeah, I'm drinking a Melvin. It says on the can, living life to the emptiness. I can't talk. It says on the can, living life to the emptiest. I like that saying.
All right. Living life to the emptiest. You're drinking a guy named Melvin, huh?
I just feel so empty, man.
Every sip I take
at all
does nothing to satisfy the abyss in my heart. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the 2-week delay there. A lot of things happened. I'll leave it up to Clete to tell us why.
Yeah, I ended up having another baby. I have another baby boy to the family. So
all right.
It's been quite the 2 weeks. I'm operating off of about 4 hours of sleep tonight. So, I'm just chugging through to get an episode out to all of you.
There you go. See, Clete, you're halfway to me. You just do 2 more and you're right there, man.
I don't know. That's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids. I'm too tired for that.
Yeah. I wish I could tell you that it gets it better and easier. It does not. But anyway, started watching a new series. It's the Welcome to Derry series on HBO Max. It's like the prequel of It, the Pennywise. It's really
Derry
good, actually. It's really good. There's only 2 episodes so far. The second one was like on Halloween, which is cool. But I really like it. It's the same guy who did the last 2 movies, Andy Muschietti. Really good, though. I really enjoy it.
What wasn't the original It like a TV series at one point? Was cut into pieces? Yeah,
it was. I think it's
they
what they
combined it into.
Yeah, it's like a limited series. They did like I don't remember what the actual term is called, but it was like 4 episodes because like the book is like 1,200 pages. It's huge, right? And so, yeah, they did like an original one with Tim Curry, who was. Is it Tim Curry? Yeah, Tim Curry is Pennywise. But then they redid it and they made 2 movies with Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and this is the same series, but before. It's really, really good.
Yeah, here's a question for you. Do you think that the original It movie was better than the remake?
I mean, it's classic, right? I think, I don't know, Tim Curry's Pennywise was kind of goofy, but it was good. I don't know. I liked the newer ones better.
Yeah, I did too. I thought the newer one was good. And my follow-up question for you then is...
Don't go to Evil Dead.
Did it do a better job at remaking it than the Evil Dead did?
First of all, it wasn't a fucking remake. Now, if you're talking about...
basically a remake.
No, it's not.
It was the Evil Dead.
No. The first remake was with the girl in the cabin, right? It was really good. Hey, stop. I'm answering your question. Shut the fuck up. You shut up. I know what you're trying to do, Clete. I know what you're trying to do. Because you admitted that the actual remake was really good. With the first one in the cabin where it's like raining blood, phenomenal, right?
Yeah, it was great. I'm not talking about that one.
That's the remake. The other one was a sequel.
Okay. It wasn't a sequel. It was a spin-off.
It's a sequel, and they're doing another one. It
happened sequentially afterwards.
I do. That's part of the story.
Is it the same producer?
Probably.
Making the next one?
Probably.
Is it?
I think it's called. Here, I think it's called Evil. Hang on. It's called Evil Dead. What's it called?
I'm gonna really Google it because I refuse to watch Venom 2 with Carnage because it wasn't rated R. I won't watch it. Never did. If this one is made by the same producer, I just won't watch it.
Yeah, it's called Evil Dead Burn. It's produced by Sebastian Vanacek. I don't know if that's who did the last one.
I'll have to look. Let us know in the comments if it is. But anyway, like if it is a different person who's making it, I will definitely watch it. I love The Evil Dead. It's one of my favorite series or movies, whatever you'd call a universe. I was just so upset at the last one that I'm at the point, if it's made by the same person, I'm not going to go. Not going to give them my money.
Yeah, well. Oh, Evil Dead Burn has Sam Raimi, who's producing it, who did the original series with Bruce Campbell.
Oh, you know that that was like a super low budget film, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I was reading about it, and I guess it was like, I think Bruce or something was like right out of high school when they were filming it. They just found like it was either an abandoned cabin in the woods, like they had no money whatsoever. I mean, it's probably one of the best indie films that have ever been made when it comes to horror.
So good. It was so good. And that's why it was so good. You can tell like it wasn't a high budget thing, but it was original and it was just zany and out there. And it was so fucking good. Now I want to watch the original Evil Dead now. And I'm going to follow up with the great remake. I just said that to piss you off.
I'm not pissed. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not pissed. I'm just disappointed. That's like the worst thing your dad could ever say to you.
Yeah. I failed you as a friend.
I don't know if I'd call you a friend.
Oh my God.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Okay, what are we doing tonight, Britton?
So we're actually going back to Reddit. It's been a while. We found a thread that's called "What is a story you don't tell people because they wouldn't believe it?" I know, Clete, you don't tell people that you don't like the Evil Dead because they just couldn't fucking believe it.
Couldn't believe it, man.
Don't believe it.
Just can't.
But yeah, so we're gonna jump into some. I don't know if they're scary stories, but just stories that like you just people wouldn't believe. But we'll jump in. So the first one comes from a guy named Deleted. He's been on the show quite a few times. I don't tell this story because it's just a little too strange, like a glitch in the Matrix. I am a skeptic by nature, by the way, and I do think that it was a big coincidence. But it's just odd as hell. So one day I'm at home and I get a phone call. On the other end is a young woman. And she said someone called her from this number, and I say they had her cat. Well, I told her she must have the wrong number because I certainly didn't call her, and I don't have anybody's cat. So that was it, and she hung up. About 10 minutes later, I go to get my mail. I'm on the first floor, leaving my apartment door open, and as soon as I open the door to the vestibule, where the mailboxes are, in sprints a black and white cat right into my apartment. I go back into said apartment, and there's this cat perching on the arm of my couch, just staring at me. I'm kind of surprised at this point. I mean, I just told someone I didn't have any random cats in my apartment, and suddenly there's one on my couch. Anyway, so I notice the cat has a tag on its collar. Hi, my name is Skittles. Not its real name. If I'm lost, call this number. So I call the number. It's the young woman who just called me 10 minutes ago. That'd be such an awkward fucking phone call. Like, hey, no, I told you I don't have it, but I have it. This is going to sound weird, I said, but now I have your cat. Well, she came over, looked at me very suspiciously, and thanked me and left. I have zero explanation for this. I accept that it's a coincidence, but it's a hell of a coincidence.
I mean, I have one question about this story that's kind of bothering me. Like when it says, hi, my name is Skittles on the collar, and it says not real name. Why would you feel compelled to change the name of the cat?
That's what bothers
you.
you.
Are you trying to protect the cat's identity somehow?
All names
like, was it Snuggles?
It's like,
and someone's like, oh, I know Snuggles.
It's like
it's just a weird, bit of information.
It's like when you watch a movie, read a book, and it's like the names have been changed to protect the identities of those involved. It's like, what, are we trying to protect this fucking cat? Like, why?
Need to protect him. Meow.
Yeah, it didn't bother me until you said something. So now I can't stop thinking, thanks, buddy. Thanks. I thought it was a weird story. You're like, they changed the cat's name?
It's just weird. It's a weird detail. Okay, this story is from Pixie Kuza. When I was 11 years old, I always used to take a shortcut through the local graveyard at night when coming back from the arcade. One night, there was a storm and the graveyard was muddy. I fell off my bike and hit my elbow and head, so I took cover under a grave house to check to see if I was bleeding or something else. The hell's a grave house?
I was going to say, what the fuck is a grave house?
It was already dark, but I could see 3 men carrying a bag and dumping it in an open hole. Then they proceeded to cover it. I saw everything. When they left, I went to the guard's place and told him what I just saw, and he told me to calm down and gave me a cup of milk and told me to stay there while he went to check for himself. When he came back, he looked at me and didn't say a word. He called the police, but when they arrived, I heard him tell them I was on drugs and that I was lying. I freaked out, so I jumped over the window, over the fence, and ran home. They found a decapitated body 3 days later. Wait, like what? So he tells the security, the groundsman, and he's like, let me go check it out. Doesn't find anything and just tells the cops he's on drugs.
He's like, I got this little crackhead. So he just
called the cops. Yeah, there's some crackhead here. Will you like arrest him?
He's saying that someone dumped something in there, and then days later, a decapitated body appears up. Also, what's a grave house? I thought that like he was in a cemetery, like what do you call it, monastery, whatever it's called. What are those fucking called? I don't know. It's escaping me right now. But like not the the big where they bury families, and it's like an actual little building. I don't fucking know. Anyway, that's a weird story.
But someone wrote in the comments, and this kind of makes sense. They wrote, I mean, if the guard called the police, he obviously thought something was up. My guess is he changed his mind about getting involved between calling them and them arriving. So maybe like someone threatened him or something.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Interesting. All right. Well, this one comes from Donald Keeman. Most people don't believe me when I tell them that I got stabbed in middle school. But to be fair, the scar on my stomach looks kind of surgical.
It was the last cup of chocolate milk.
That's my carton, bitch.
It's mine. No.
I mean, look, I would have stabbed someone for chocolate milk in middle school. The shit was good. This guy had been picking on one of my friends all semester in study hall. Then the teacher left, and he threw a stapler at my friend, so I stood up. He walked over and punched me in the face. We started fighting. At one point, he fell against the teacher's desk, grabbed something, and swung at me, hitting me in the stomach. It didn't faze me too badly at the time because my 13-year-old adrenaline was pumping. I got him in a headlock right after that and ended the fight. Blood everywhere. Apparently he grabbed an X-Acto knife and sliced me open a good bit. It was pretty deep. Hurt like fucking hell as soon as I realized what had happened. Had to go to the hospital. Now here's the icing on the cake. Because of the zero tolerance policy in the school, after there was an investigation to find out what happened and it was determined that we were fighting, I was put in ISS for the entire last week of middle school for standing up for my friend and getting stabbed. I was also grounded by my parents. Huh.
That's crazy, man. I don't know if I'd punish my kid for that.
I know. First comment. As we all know, zero tolerance is clearly zero use your fucking brains.
All right. This one is from Gentleman Bastard. Oh. I can relate. I work security at a double lockdown inpatient psychiatric hospital. We have several units that specialize in both chemical dependence and mental health disorders. My unit is Stabilization Unit, or SU. So, if you're really off your rocker or you feel like getting violent, you come visit me. Damn. I like this guy.
That's quite the introduction. If you're off your rocker violent, come see me. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
okay.
You'll see me. I'll get you. I'll stab you in the butt.
Oh.
Fall asleep.
Some kind of alien?
You know, it's like a sedative, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not where I thought you were going with it.
We get a call for a possibly violent patient, and I go check it out. It's a very tall, very slender young girl wearing what can only charitably be described as rags. Her hair is unkempt and clearly has become estranged from shampoo. She is covered from head to toe in filth that I'm praying is not her own. She's in rough shape, clearly sick, and needs some help. She doesn't respond to any verbal questions or commands, but we can lead her around pretty easily. I'm starting to wonder why they called me up. They tell me to put her on the SU, and a couple of nurses are going to clean her up for a little bit, put her in scrubs, and get her sorted out. They lead her into the shower, and the patient starts screaming. Then the nurses start screaming. Then everyone starts screaming. This poor young woman is covered in what are clearly human bite marks.
Ooh.
Everyone is freaking the fuck out. The patient didn't want to be undressed and is lashing out wildly, so she had to be put in 4-point restraints, wrists and ankles tied to the bed. All the staff are in various stages of shock, crying, praying, rendering of garments, etc. Someone had clearly been keeping this young, mentally ill girl captive and abusing her for quite some time. The bites are across her torso and appendages, and there are both new and old ones. The nursing supervisor immediately called the cops, and we just stand around staring blankly at each other, thinking about how fucked up people are to each other, and the evil in this world. One of the nurses, who had been in a psych nursing longer than I have, been alive, suddenly yells, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." The patient had craned her neck over and sunk her teeth into the meat of her upper arm, blood oozing from between her lips. We had to put a spit shield over the top of her face to stop her from trying. All the bites were self-inflicted. She was able to contort herself in ways that I didn't think possible. I still think about her a lot, and I don't think yoga is as sexy anymore. That's how you have to end it?
Yeah, that's a weird fucking ending. What does that have to do with anything?
I used to think yoga was sexy until I saw that. I just was really into yoga.
I think he's the biter.
We call this the leaning dog.
It's downward dog, I think.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I used to think yoga was sexy. All right. Well, this comes from Miss Wolfie. When I was about 9 or 10, my grandparents and I were living in a somewhat large town in Pennsylvania. I would ride my bike around the block we lived on and never had any problems until one day it was close to sunset and I was just about to turn the last corner that looped back to the road our house was on. A large group of people were outside of their house and they were all laughing loudly and goofing off, I assume. They decided to sort of form a wall across the sidewalk in front of me, while more of them kind of boxed me in from behind. One of them, a guy, stepped forward and grabbed my handlebars, got right in my face and started yelling at me while his friends laughed and carried on. Weird. He pushed me off the bike onto the ground and started laughing maniacally. He kind of pushed the bike hard. It landed on me and he started moving toward me again. So I jumped up, pulled my bike with me kind of into a bush, kind of into a bush on the side to get away. Got on it and pedaled like hell to get home. My grandma was pretty pissed I was banged up, but thought it was my fault for being a stupid kid. About 2 weeks later, I found a newspaper on the kitchen table with that guy's face in the front cover. He was arrested for killing an old lady just down the road from our house. My grandma never believed me, but I could never forget that guy's face.
Jesus. My God.
Such a weird, I was like, such a weird twist. Like some guy's just like, I'm going to haze this kid riding his bike. But I guess it makes sense. He just, got done murdering some old woman.
Someone on here wrote, I used an entire large Bic lighter once before I lost it. Someone wrote bullshit. Another person put AMA.
Bullshit.
It's true, man. I always lost those. All right, this one is from MC Seal Clubber.
Okay.
Yeah, it starts with okay. So I don't like to tell this story. I kill seals. Okay. So I don't like to tell this story because it's absurdly unbelievable. Like I, myself, don't even believe it. But my friend swears by it. A couple years ago at Bonnaroo, just after the Alt J show got out, me and my friends are coming down off some decent acid, and I decide I could really fucking go for a Wonder Waffle.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm in line. Yeah, everyone likes a Wonder Waffle.
Especially some beautiful acid.
Yeah, some warm syrup. So I'm in line, waiting, and I finally get my delicious ice cream treat. And I turn around, and an older gentleman says to me, there's only one place in the world you're going to find a treat like that. I, being ever the quick-witted young lad I am, only responded with, good, because I'm fucking starving, which didn't even make sense, and turn around to put chocolate and shit on my waffle. When I turn around, the gentleman is gone, and my friend has this dumb look on his face, and while we're walking away from the WW stand, he says to me, dude, you know who that was, right? And I say something along the lines of, I don't know, some old dude. He looks at me with the dumbest smile ever and says, dude, that was fucking Paul McCartney.
What?
He just says something crazy. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's funny. And I'm just standing there with this dumbfounded look on my face that says there was no way in hell that was Paul McCartney. So that's my potential encounter with Paul McCartney. And I totally understand if you don't believe me. I don't even believe it. TLDR, may have accidentally bro-dosed Sir Paul McCartney. What? That's crazy, man. You just say something good because I'm fucking starving.
Okay. Interesting. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, so this next story comes from Random Stranger 4321. My brother was chilling in his room in the basement last summer, playing Xbox with his headphones on. Probably talking some mad shit. Those Xbox bodies get nuts.
Have you seen that clip with those two people?
We're gonna play your Xbox record. Oh no, let's not do that. It's like a job interview.
Just a random 30 seconds of your Xbox Live chat.
He's like, oh no, let's not do that.
Are you a girl? Beep, beep, beep.
You say your address right here. This is you. This is my first and last name. All right. He thought he heard a weird noise upstairs, but just thought it was our older brother getting home since he generally sounds like a herd of elephants. He took his headphones off and heard the front door slamming. He decided to go upstairs and grab a snack and see who else was home. He ran up the stairs and noticed the air was a little hazy. He opened the door to the garage to check for vehicles, indicating that people were home, and flames came shooting out at him. Our house was on fire. Holy shit. Turns out the noises upstairs were from a neighbor who saw the fire and ran into the house. I had left the front door unlocked when I left 2 hours previously. The neighbor had grabbed our dog and yelled to see if anyone else was home, then ran out. He's just down there playing Xbox.
Damn.
House is burning upstairs. The fire started in the garage and spread to the roof and the attic. It melted our smoke detectors from above, so the alarms never went off. When my brother realized that the house was on fire, he ran back downstairs because he thought I was still home. I thought they were going to say he went downstairs to play games again. When he saw that I wasn't in my bedroom, he's like, not the Xbox. When he saw that I wasn't in my bedroom, he ran back upstairs, looked for our dog, then finally saw the neighbor holding her outside. He took 5 steps outside, saw that our mom's vehicle was in the driveway very close to the fire, and thought he should grab her keys to back it up. He turned around and there was fire entirely blocking the front door. Good thing, because if he tried to start it, it may have exploded with how hot it was. He called my parents after calling 911, and my mom laughed because she thought he was joking. Well, he wasn't. Our house burned down in the middle of the day. Plus, my mom's vehicle ended up lighting on fire and basically melted from the heat. Very next day, I received an acceptance letter from med school in the mail. Why is that relevant? Anyway, okay. He's like, yeah, so I left. I went to med school, so fuck that house.
Cool flex, man.
Boo. Anyway, that's crazy.
Okay, this one is from a Mesley. I was on a trip with my zoology class undergrad to the woods in Maryland. Each night, we went out with a partner into the total darkness. No streetlights, no nothing. Dark, like I've never seen. It practically had a texture when it enveloped you. This was to check our traps for mice and chipmunks. We each had like 8 traps with a ball of peanut butter and seed inside, and we checked them every few hours, so if some animal got trapped, we could take them inside before they died from the cold. The trap didn't hurt them, or else I would have refused to participate. It just snagged them, so we could tag them. Anyway, my partner and I make it 3 miles out to our area, and it's fucking cold. So we reason we'll make it back to the cabin faster if we each split up and check our traps ASAP. She runs ahead to her area, about a half mile up the dirt path, and the dark swallows her. No prob. I'm not afraid of the dark. So I've got my headlamp on, and I'm checking traps one by one, at least as best as I can, given that my fingers are pretty stiff. This was only the last weekend of August, or 1st of September, but it was enough that you shivered inside instead of slept. What? That's what it says. What do they mean?
Shivered inside. So, like, instead of sleeping, you're just sitting there shivering.
Instead of slept?
Yeah, instead of sleeping, you shivered inside instead of slept.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
I think
it doesn't. But
you're gaslighting me, dude. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, you're shivering instead of slept. No. I check a trap and hear a snap behind me. I looked around, didn't see anything. Turned back to the trap. There it is again. Snap. I finally realized it was just a stick breaking somewhere a little ways away. Whatever. I start walking away from the sound to check my next trap. Snap. It sounds like it's a little closer now. Actually, a lot closer than a minute ago. It had gone from like 30 feet off in the dark, barely audible, to now sounding like a meager 10 feet. The woods were pretty dense, but not so dense I shouldn't be able to see it, right? I look around. Again, all I've got is my headlamp, but it's pretty bright. I see nothing. Decide I watched too much X-Files as a kid, then wander on. By the time I get to the next trap, I hear it again, even closer. Snap. I froze, suddenly realizing why this had been setting my alarm bells off in my head this whole time. I've been in the forest for 5 days. The only thing I've heard break a stick by walking on it is a human. So it'd take a decent amount of weight to break a stick, much less be breaking sticks with almost every step. This thing I am out alone with in the dark is heavy. I'd been warned about coyotes and mountain lions, so at this point I stopped checking traps and started speed walking toward where my partner had gone about a half-mile north, stopping every few seconds to spin in a circle, to check my backside and try to demonstrate to whatever was following me that I was aware of my surroundings. Snap, snap, snap. It was following me. This couldn't be real. Suddenly, there she was. I turned a bend and the whole world filled with light again. My partner was there, headlamp on. She caught a chipmunk. She was ready to go back. Suddenly, I felt like a total fucking idiot, and instantly decided to tell no one of my panic attack. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. We get back without incident. No more snaps. Everyone else is in the cabin waiting. No one else caught anything, so our professor decided to tag the chipmunk and take it back to its area, my partner's area, to re-release it. He dragged us all along and we followed him back up the trail I'd just been on. We get to the first portion, my portion, and a student waved the professor over. We all thought she found something in one of my traps, but when we all circled around it wasn't a trap. It was just the other side of the tree from one of my traps, and it was poop, like a giant pile of shit. My professor donned a glove and held it up for everyone to see, showing us all what black bear shit looks like. Well, at that point, I couldn't tell anyone. No one would believe me. TLDR, stalked by a black bear for half a mile in Maryland one night. Yeah, man, he almost became dinner. Although I hear bears smell too. I'd imagine he would have smelled the bear.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure their sense of smell is much better than yours, so I think I had to get pretty close to smelling. For you to smell them, I should say.
Yeah, that's airtight logic.
Airtight. Airtight is bear shit. All right. This one comes from CDC_. I think I saw some kind of, I don't know, spirit or demon or some kind of shadow being once. I was doing some training one afternoon about 6-ish years ago. I was in an office and there was an instructor telling us about job safety, etc. I was zoning out, not really paying attention. It was broad daylight outside, and the room I was in had about 6 monitors. On those monitors, it was displaying security camera footage, mostly the sidewalks, outside traffic. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught some kind of shadow on one of the monitors, but the shadow was moving along the sidewalk very quickly, and what's more, it didn't look like a shadow on the ground. It looked like a ball. A ball of shadow just drifting along the sidewalk like a tumbleweed, very fast. I caught it just out of the corner of my eye and it went off screen. I started looking at all the other screens to see if it popped up, and sure enough it did pop up on another of the screens, still traveling down the sidewalk, then across the street, and I could just barely see a car stop in front of it. The shadow ball lifted up off the ground, went over the car, and then back down onto the street on the other side of the car. And on the screen, I saw the car just sit there for a moment and then take off. The shadow went completely off screen and I never saw it again. Now, as with all claims like this, it could have been anything. Who the fuck knows? But it was very unsettling to see. The light would almost bend around it, wherever it could move, and it was translucent. And whatever it was, that car saw it too, and stopped. Somewhere out there, someone else saw that thing, and I'll never meet with them and be able to ask if it was as weird looking as I thought it was. Truth be told, today is the first time I've ever told anyone that story. Honestly, I probably wouldn't believe me.
Yeah, there's going to be like more stories.
Like some kid lost his basketball, it's just bouncing through the city.
Kish, 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 going down the stairs. There's going to be like another story down here about the car person's perspective. And then there's going to be another one behind under that of the balls, the black balls perspective. So I'm a demon black ball.
I was in my car. It's like I was in my car and I saw this black ball hop completely over my vehicle.
No one's going to believe me, man. No one's going to believe me. This one is from Sad Walrus. I like to go hiking. Back about 10 years ago, I went out into western New York with a friend and my then husband. We hiked through the woods for hours and were about to make camp before the sun started to go down. We came to a river, took off our packs, and suddenly I heard our friend making a gasping noise and freeze. Across the water, perhaps 20 yards away, was a creature staring at us. It was about 8 feet tall and absolutely massive in frame and musculature. We stared at it, and it stared back. It felt like forever, but it was probably just a minute or so. Then it turned and walked off into the woods. This broke the spell, and we all tossed our packs back on and ran off the way we came. We never stopped to camp. We didn't stop until we got back to the truck around midnight. Our friend, who lives up there, said it was a Wendigo. I have no clue if it was a Sasquatch, a Wendigo, or just some enormous dude somehow fucking with us. But I will never hike in western New York again. I don't ever want to see that again. I know people would think I'm nuts, but there is no real acceptable explanation.
Interesting. This is from Unbelievable Throw. I sat on this one for a long time, since August 2012, and all I want to do is talk about this. Apologies, this is the long one, and I'm not one for TLDRs. I haven't told my friends, my family, not even my significant other of this, just because I find it barely believable. And I'm posting this on a throwaway just because I want distance from it. Sorry. That's quite the fucking beginning.
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
This shit better be good.
What is this?
All right, here we go. Buckle up, folks. It all started maybe 4 years ago when I read about people who flashed high-powered lasers up into the night sky and received responses from lights in the sky. I've always been interested in the possibility of extraterrestrials, but I didn't really ever think much about it. I preoccupied myself with reading science articles and let fantasy rest in my love of Asimov, Clark, Bradbury, and other writers. Grainy footage always looked pointless because there was no way to tell if it was genuine or not, and it's so beautifully played out in the media that it's easy to dismiss this kind of shit. Usually some simple farmer talking about his cows being abducted. How could anyone take close encounters seriously? Why do so many abductees have to be sexually molested in the process? Jesus Christ.
I'm just so sick of everyone getting molested.
Okay, I have to do that sentence again.
No, just leave it. It's funny.
All right.
I'm sick of these people getting abducted and molested. Hide your kids and hide your wives. Because they're molesting everybody out here.
Why does abductees and molestation go hand in hand? Okay. And so people who claim to have seen UFOs are quite readily dismissed in spite of accounts from military personnel, pilots, even Buzz Aldrin in the story of the Stage 4 booster. I'm quite aware of the problem I face, but Reddit doesn't know me, so who cares if I sound crazy? I grant myself this one outburst. Oh, Jesus. I quickly am losing interest in this one.
Why don't they just leave the abductees alone?
This idea about lasers burrowed into my mind, I guess. On a work trip to Singapore in 2011, I picked up a high-powered laser with a USB connection for very little, a 200 milliwatt unit with a range of 70 miles. When I got back to the UK, I played around with it. I programmed into the laser a flashing of the prime number sequence on a loop from 2 to 97. Who is this fucking guy? The John Wick of aliens? I guess in using primes, I'd taken some inspiration from the book and film Contact. Given that it was winter and cloudy, I put it in a drawer and forgot about it until summertime came around. It was the night before the heaviest night of the Perseid meteor shower in 2012, and I always like going out every year and doing time-lapse photography. Usually the kinds of shots with a wide-angle lens at 24 millimeters showing the Milky Way moving across the sky. God, this guy's fucking in-depth with his descriptions.
Yeah.
While meteors burn up in the atmosphere and leave the imprint on the camera sensor. You just described a photograph. But this night, because I wanted to experiment, I switched to a longer lens. My trusty Canon 85mm. Oh my shit. Okay, my trusty Canon. It's not good for this kind of time-lapse because the field of view it offers is too small to capture the majesty of the meteor shower with the Milky Way as a backdrop. Now, let me just repeat, this was an experiment. I did this for science. I did this for pleasure, not science.
Is it like a molested, like a term for like minors? Or like, can it be used like for anyone? Maybe it can be.
I think it's, I don't think it's, I think it's generally used for minors, but I think the term molestation is.
Oh, look it up.
It can be used.
Definition.
Yeah, you Google that. I'm not looking it up.
Okay, to sexually assault or abuse a person. But then it says,
okay, so it's just
molesting the boy.
Oh God, dude, are you serious? Molesting the boy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, anyway. I didn't have any expectations. It was purely curiosity to see what, if any, results this yielded. I guess some ideas burn into my brain and I just want to try this for the sake of it. Maybe at a subconscious level I wanted to believe in something, but I don't know. It's not like if you met me and talked to me, I'm the stereotypical believer in paranormal things. Dude, we've already hashed this out. Anyway, I duct taped the laser to the camera so that its beam would be visible in the field of view of the lens, and then secured the camera on my tripod, made sure the feet of the tripod were firmly planted in the field, and then I pointed the camera straight up. I figured if I wanted good images, it was best to stick to photos. Filming doesn't ever yield good enough quality, and it consumes the CF card far too fast. I always take a few test shots to make sure my focus, aperture, and shutter speed settings are okay. They were fine. When checking the images on the camera screen, I could see stars, and everything was clear. I set the intervalometer to shoot images every second, started up the laser in the time-lapse, and for the first 20 minutes, nothing happened. It was okay, though. I could see the Milky Way and a few meteors passing across the sky. I had my thermos full of hot chocolate, and I enjoyed these kind of nights. And then I looked up and noticed, slightly off to one side from the laser, there was a light, and it was very slowly circling the beam. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, more lights started to appear. Maybe one a minute. They moved across the sky and joined the first, orbiting the beam, almost like they'd been captured by gravity. Sounds fucking crazy.
Definitely needs protection, man, because he's about to get molested.
That's what's on his brain, man. I counted around 30 points of light. There's no way that there were planes or helicopters. I couldn't hear anything except for the hum of the edge of my town about a couple miles away. They seemed quite high up, but it was impossible to assess how far up they were. But I'm certain that they weren't some fireflies or other luminous insects. They all orbited the beam in concentric circles from one another, going clockwise for about 10 minutes. At first, their circling was independent from one another, and then some of the points of light started to change their speed. I could see the points of light syncing up their orbits and slowly forming a pattern. It was a spiral, and it was spinning around my laser beam, and they were forming this spiral tight enough around my laser beam for the camera to capture it all. Then they formed a giant dick.
Hey, dude, you're about to get molested.
Yeah, they're just telling you what they want. A big old anus. I don't know how long I was looking at this remarkable show for. The camera shot enough images for it to have been only 3 minutes, with the UFOs all synced up into the spiral. But I could have sworn that I was watching this spin for at least 30 minutes. I just don't know. And then the relative silence out in that field was interrupted by jet engines overhead. The lights in the sky started to switch off and disappear from the outside part. Oh, shit. My cat snuck downstairs and scared the shit out of me.
You're about to get gotten. By the aliens,
about to get gotten. The lights in the sky started to switch off and disappear from the outside part of the spiral all the way back to the inside, and it was just gone. I figure if they'd left, I should leave too. I packed up my gear and made my way home. It was about 4 a.m. and there was too much adrenaline in my blood to sleep. I downloaded the images I'd taken immediately. The first 20 minutes worth of images were good, stars aplenty. I usually run it through Lightroom to bring out the fainter stars, but given the quality of what I'd captured, I sure it would look amazing. And every fucking image after the UFOs came into view was purely white. Every single image. Hundreds of them. I wondered for a second if I'd burned out the sensor or if there was a defect, but I took a few images and it was absolutely fine. I changed the settings on those white photos, trying to recover some detail, but there was nothing. I've done time lapses of meteor showers since then with the same equipment and there was never any problem. But for that period of time, the most reliable piece of tech I own failed. The next day I took the dog for a walk and went my usual way, out by the field where I'd seen those lights the night before. There was a black Land Rover Defender sitting in the middle of the field and men in military uniforms looking at the spot where I'd set up. I continued walking and avoided looking at them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to call his bullshit bluff on that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That was a very long-winded story.
It was. And he set it up so great, and then it turned out to be... All right, folks. Well, that is going to wrap us up for this evening. Thank you for joining us for some more scary stories from Reddit. As always, want to give a huge shout out to our paid supporters of the show, Soylent Clete Feet, Lara, Mothman, Conklin Family, and Lou. And if you yourself would like to join these amazing people, there's a link below and several tiers to choose from, as well as a one-time link for a beer donation to the show.
If you're listening to us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe as it really helps us get us out there. As always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.